Hi, welcome back. Today, this will be our last episode on chapter 4 on Surds. So, we have done the various topics, covered everything cover to cover. But I promise to give a lax example calculation on how to do it when actually a question is a bit involving, covering the various subtopics and asserts. So if you are here and this is the first time you are watching this video, this is core math for senior high students using AKI-OLA core math textbook. Right, so this is the question that we are going to do, example 6. And this question, for starters, is a bit involving, like we said earlier, and it basically uses a feature called functions, or better so substitution, right? So I wouldn't even talk much about functions because we have not treated it yet, but I will give you an idea of what substitution is. So here you have been given, for example, if p star q is equal to p squared plus q squared plus 2p q, find I square root of 3 star 1 over square root of 12, right? So you see it's involving multiplication, involving division, which we technically looked at as what? Rationalization. So now let's see what is going to happen here. If you check here, right, the book actually took how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 steps to solve it. Now bear in mind, if you should follow this, you may not understand it, right? Especially if you're new and you have not really followed this channel and actually see how we take things systematically or sequentially, right? So even if I should do here and I'll talk, you may find yourself wanting or even miss some steps. So now let me tell you, the answer is 49 over 12. I'm going to prove to you, even using 4 steps or 5 steps, we are going to use a longer steps. So stay tuned. Now, this is a question that I've rewritten it, given that p star q squared is equal to p squared plus q squared plus 2pq. This is it. So now, rewriting it again, this is it. So it's more of a substitution. So what it means is that we are using the terms to identify them easily. So what it means is that p is a term, q is a term. Now, given that p is now squared, right? And then q now is squared, and then plus 2pq. So that is it. So it means that when we are given, let's say, find square root of 3 star 1 over square root of 12, it means that we are doing substitution in terms of the terms. Term 1, term 2, and then 2 times term 1 and term 2. This is what it means. So this is it. Now, if you are saying that now, so it means that now in this particular expression, square root of 3 is the first term. Now 1 over square root of 12 is the second term. So doing substitution again, this is what we have. So if you have seen that p is squared here, then square root of 3 is squared, plus the whole of what? Q, also squared, plus 2, and then the p will come, and then 1 over square root of 12 comes. So that is it. So make sure this particular, the first expression, you get it. The moment you miss or you fail to grasp or get the first term expression, then you are doomed. There's no two ways about this. You are doomed. You won't get it correct. Now, if you have gotten this, pause the video. If you pause the video and then assimilate this information very well, understand this step. We are only doing substitution. So don't think too wide. In fact, don't even think outside the box. Think within the box. Now, once again, we calm down. So here, this is where we apply the terms that we have learned, the procedures under the various calculations that we have done under Surds. So the property, square root of what? A number all squared is what? Is the number itself, right? Now we come again. This is also squared. We are squaring the whole of p. So if you square 1, it's We are squaring 1. That is it. Now we come again to square root of 12 itself. You do that, put it down, don't rush, and don't run through them, like, unless you are doing objectives and you know what you are doing, right? In my case, I know what I'm doing. I can be skipping most of the steps, especially when it comes to what objectives that we are doing, section A, like we know, we are familiar with the term. That is it. But if you are doing section B, that means they will even, in fact, the question will even tell you to show all the steps, show all the necessary steps, because all the various steps will be marked. So if you fail and you jump any of the steps, it will go against you. So for section B, use all the procedure, the steps. Section A, don't worry yourself, because there's no time on your side. So skip and then make sure that you know what you're doing. So that is it. Now we come again. 2 multiplying the whole of term 1 and term 2, this is what it is. So you can even bring this one here, but it is not necessary, right? Because that is what the multiple. So there's no need bringing the multiple there. We know it's imaginary p. Sorry, imaginary multiplication sign. So that is it. So these 2 is multiplying this, term 1, and term 2. So this is it. But for the second one, I intentionally brought it so that you know what you're doing. But in front of the square root, I ignored. So if you are doing that, so that is it. Now let's go to step 3. So that is, simply it will be 2 square root of 3 over what? The square root of 12. Still, relax, don't rush. Make sure you are at this point. Now let's go down. The 3, you bring the 3 down. The square of 1 is 1. Now the square of square root of 12 is the number that is 12. So we have 1 over 12. Now plus, once again, come here. This is it. So now the reason why we extended, there's a property that we learned earlier. If it happens this way, like this, is square root of 3, square root of 12. So it means that you can use 1 square root to combine all of them. So that's what we just did. We just extended it to cover the numerator and then the denominator. It's the same expression, right? We've gotten that. Now come to the next step. 3 comes down, 1 over 12 comes down. Now the same thing comes down. Now under this one, we have a division sign under the square root. So it is allowed that within or under the square root sign or the radical sign, you can do your calculations and whatever is there, whether multiplication, whether division, whether subtraction. Under that, you can do that. In fact, there's nothing like subtraction under a square root sign. I'm just saying it, right? So multiplication can happen there, and then division can happen there under that. So division here, 3 over 12, we cancel out. 3 into itself once, and then 3 into 12 4 times, 1 over 4. Then the 2 still appears. Let's count down again. 3, 1 over 12, 2 comes down. Now the square root sign, we are using the properties. So we are applying whatever we learned. So this is why to be advisable, if you don't know the properties or whatever we are coming from before getting here, make sure you have watched the videos. The video is very, in fact, this platform, everything is structured from the beginning to the end, no skipping, no assumption too when teaching. So now that we have that, now that is it. So to remove the square root signs, we are separating them, right, and then removing them individually. We are removing the square root sign. So 1 squared under the square root sign, that's what we do. We want to remove it. And then 2 again. The 2 is 2 squared under the square root sign. Why? Because 2 times 2 give us 4. So we have re-expressed it. So now when you do that, what do you do? You have 1 over 2. Then you have this. So hence this. Now this and this, it will cancel out, giving 1. Cancel 1, cancel here. 1, this is 1. So 3 plus 1 over 12 plus 1. Then everything will be here. So 4. This one will be 4. 4 plus 1 over 12. So this is the final answer. This is what you got in the textbook. You can check that. So that's it. We are moving to chapter 5, where we deal with number basis. We will see you soon. Bye for now. Ciao.